Hello, it's Andy Graham with the Ask Andy Show. I've traveled non-stop for 16 plus years. I'm going to go to Europe here shortly. I'm gone to 90 countries. I'm going to add on another 10 here pretty soon, going to southeastern Europe. I answer questions about life in general, okay? But I have a real good knowledge of the global climate we live in. Okay, Michael R. asked this question. Most travel health insurance seems to be targeted at vacationers. Totally correct. I can think of more than a few places where having health insurance is really important. I can think of more than a few places where having health insurance is really important. How do you handle this? For example, suppose I am going to stay in Brazil for 3 to 6 months. What do you recommend? This is not my... I would definitely not say this is a situation that I'm handling up to a way that people do it. I do not have health insurance, and I'm not sure I can. There's Viapol, one health insurance company out of the best health insurance. If I was going to buy health insurance, for one thing, I would only be going for health insurance from Great Britain. Okay, basically I would be searching London, you know, health insurance, travelers, and do it. The American health insurance industry for world travel just isn't do it. The Great Britain is a commonwealth, and they had all these places all around the planet. You have a lot of people in Great Britain or England that are living all around the planet. So that's where I would try to get a health insurance policy. If you get on forums, like in there's forums like in the Philippines and forums like that where people can recommend health insurance. I don't have health insurance. What I do instead is I would like to have health insurance for cancer and some things. There's also, which we don't talk about, but there's really this accident insurance. And accidents is 90% is going to be in a car or motorcycle. So if you want to drive a car or motorcycle outside the United States, you're really in risk. I don't drive cars and I don't drive motorcycles that much outside the United States, and I've realized even in the last couple of years there was a lot of motorcycle taxis in Togo, and I just realized that it just wasn't worth the risk, because what I do is, you're going to see that a lot of people have accidents and they need some kind of insurance, right? The best way to stay out of an accident is to stay out of the vehicles that have accidents. That's motorcycles and cars. And shuttle buses. I'm almost only in large buses and then kind of in the back of the bus, or trains or airplanes, and there's very little risk here. People that drive their car need to realize they're in harm's way. My health, unfortunately or fortunately for me, I've been to 90 countries, and I know which countries, if I had certain types of illnesses, like if I got cancer, I would probably go to either the Philippines or Thailand to do it. If I, you know, some people consider, I don't know, dentists as being a big deal, but dentists are everywhere, and I would never think about having dental insurance, okay? I just wouldn't even consider it, because like I get my teeth cleaned for free in Vilcabamba, Ecuador. It's actually clean for free, and a lot of countries have very, very reasonable medical. So what we're really looking for is an expat living abroad is the major things, and most people that most of the problems that you would have, and this is what I would recommend, if you have health insurance in the United States and you're going to live it there, always know how to leave the country and come back to the United States in the event of a big problem. And this is why sometimes you want to be close to an airport if you're in really bad health. So let's say the airport's only an hour away, then you can go fly to the United States and then go to a hospital inside the United States. There's not that many things that sneak up on you. The things that sneak up on you again are accidents. If you're prone to falling over and one of my friends just recently, an 89-year-old person, fell over on the way to the mailbox, and they had to be rushed to the hospital because of a broken hip. Your age is a big factor, so you need to talk with every place you go to. Like if I was going to go live in Brazil, as you're talking about, obviously there's a lot of expats in Rio de Janeiro, and it would be tempting to live there if I was in really bad health, or make sure that I always know how to have an exit strategy to get back to the place. Right now, one of the nice things is on Facebook, you could probably put Brazil expats, and you'd find these forums where there's somebody made a Facebook page, and you can join this thing, and then you can ask these questions and how they locally handle it. Because every single country you go to is going to be unique. There's a lot of countries, like, to me, living in Thailand is just not that scary at all, because I can go to the doctor for $1 or something like that. Now, a lot of the people, though, are very, very prejudicial about their medical health, and they think that they got to go to a private doctor, private this, private that, and these are the ones that are going to have a lot of trouble living abroad. I went to a doctor in Lake Atalan and had something removed off my back. It cost me $49. I was in La Union, and I mean, the Philippines is really good because they have these hospitals that are actually veteran approved. They're like the American soldier approved hospitals, and if you're ever close to things, but you're going to have to be real careful. Like right now, there was a warning on Thailand not to go there, probably by the U.S. government, because of all the violence they had with the red shirts and blue shirts. And this all of a sudden just negates the value of your insurance. It'll say, the insurance will often say, if there's a government warning towards that country, we're not going to cover you. Okay, so that's one reason why I don't have things, because I'm going to a lot of countries with these warnings, just because I'm an adventure traveler. On the other side is, I think once I get to be 65 and I can get on Medicaid, I'll always be thinking just be close to an airport and fly back to the United States, and probably not tell the government that I was outside the United States, and just go to the doctor. I think that sounds corrupt. I think it sounds dishonest, but the government's just, the health insurance and everybody on the planet is always looking for a way to not pay you what you're paying, right, or what you deserve, right? Just because I'm in a different country doesn't mean I'm not an American citizen, right? And I haven't been paying taxes. I file taxes every year. This fine print stuff is sometimes, I think, something to be ignored, and you have to be savvy enough not to just bend over and take and pay every time you get a chance. It is a very vexing question, and you have to look at it country by country, and then you have to be good at talking. I'm always talking about the center of the backpacker universe, or the center of the expat universe. Like I was talking the other day, that if there's a English-speaking, English language bookstore, that's normally the center where all the expats live. It's right in the center, in the location. If you went in there and then you started figuring out where the local hangouts are, there's restaurants where these people hang out, go in and talk to them and just pose the question, how do you insure yourself? How do you insure yourself? You can do that online. The ones online a lot of times are just liars. Okay, they just will say anything because they really have no commitment. In eye to eye on the land, they're going to tell you the truth. If you have health insurance in America, don't shut it off. Just realize that it may cost you an extra $600 to get back from Brazil to the United States. That's going to be, your deductible, right? To get back there so you can collect your insurance. Try to make a list of what health problems you're really worried about. I mean, I would make a list of all the things that you're worried that could be relatively traumatic. Like, I think appendicitis. Appendicitis could be very scary because you need to have this extracted really quick. Cancer's not going to sneak up on me. I might need a hip replacement. It's not sneaking up on me, guys. But I would go to... I'm self-insured, so what I would do, I don't feel safe in the United States because of the cost. If I got really sick in the United States right now, I'd probably fly to Guatemala or maybe Peru or Thailand. Ideally Thailand. and then, or ideally the Philippines, to do my medical stuff. And so I got to figure that my deductible is paying the $800 plane fare to get there. And then I would go to the doctor there, where it's $10 a visit, and have them work on me and negotiate it. You do have to negotiate with the doctors abroad. You can't. There's a lot of doctors, in especially India and the Philippines and Thailand, where they're preying on it. Bamagard Hospital in Thailand is actually like a big marketing thing to get these people to come for medical tourism, right? And they can actually be 3 times higher than the thing. What's funny is I realized in Thailand that the doctor that was working in Bamagard actually worked in the public hospital. You could go to see him for $1 at the public hospital. There's some really tricky things that are going on in the medical tourism thing. But make a list of all your fears and try to figure out how to deal with them. But most medical problems don't sneak up onto you. And again, one great way to avoid accidents is to not drive cars and not get on motorcycles, which is the things that require immediate medical attention quick. And, you know, be prudent, be savvy, and be smart, and don't just volunteer for these things. By the way, you mentioned 3 places you keep traveling to: Lomé, Togo, Lake Atalan in Guatemala, and I've been to Peru about 4 times. That's a place where I go to, and I go to Thailand. I've been to Bangkok, Thailand many times. I mean, probably 20 times. I don't really have any favorite city in Thailand. I just like to go to Thailand and roam around because it's like being in a first world. I don't think I'll ever retire there. I'm assuming I'll spend a couple months of my life there for the rest of my life. I mean, every year or 2 I'll go to Thailand, live a couple months, because the beaches are wonderful and the food is great, and you can go buy electronics very cheap. I like going to the Philippines, but it's too expensive in a way. I just consider it a very expensive place to roam around. You can't just roam around easily and find $10 hotels. They really are overpriced. But these are places where I go to all the time. I'm hoping to go to either the Ukraine or Bulgaria, maybe as an alternative. I would like to go to Europe and then fly into places in Europe, stay for a few days. Like right now I'm flying to Oslo, Norway. I'll stay for 3 days and then go to the cheap places called like Bulgaria and Croatia and Ukraine, and I think these places would be good like summer houses, summer places. They're obviously very cold in the winter, so they're kind of like Indiana. But the cost of living in Bulgaria is like, the average person earns like $500 a month, so that's just $100 more than Ecuador or something. I'm not really that fond of most of the Central and South America places. I like Atalan, but they're being so populated with Americans right now that they're very difficult. And the Americans are not Americans and Brits I sort of avoid. I'd really like a more international community. I like it where, you know, when you find some Swedish people or Germans or Russians or something like that, they seem to be a little more what I really want. I'm living outside the United States to avoid to understand different cultures. Okay, the health insurance thing, anybody want to write me suggestions on things? I'm always willing to, you know, I'm open-minded on this. I've just never came up with a solution that seemed economically feasible, and I'm looking always at self-insurance. I'm self-insured in a way, and if I have a major type of problem, I would fly to the country that could do it for the most economical and have them do it. I'm going to always be paying attention to hip replacements, because I broke my leg in a motorcycle accident when I was 23, and I do believe that I'm a target for a knee replacement or a hip replacement as I get older. But you know, be careful how you walk, and don't drive cars, and don't drive motorcycles abroad. And that's a form of insurance, right?
We can pack up tomorrow. Tonight, let's flip